What is going on? I'm ZMOT. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be doing some stuff on my low level account here, namely Imitation game. Wanted to show you some goodness that was in this month in Boom for November. I was caught by surprise, totally forgot that Speed Serum was coming. Speed Serum is so incredibly useful. Tomorrow, I assume it's actually 4 p.m. my time, which is midnight UTC. We're going to get the remote defib. 15th, we're going to get crystal shields. 14th and 15th, not exciting at all for me anyways. 16th, that tiny shock, so good. 17th, the explosive critters, also a sad trombone moment there. But back to the 18th and even the 19th, I gotta say 13th, 16th, 19th, the multiples of 3, not really multiples of 3, you get what I'm trying to say, are the things that are most exciting for me. So do keep an eye on those. You're going to want to hold your operation attacks for when they come into play. We're going to get going on Imitation game. I've got some form of Shockaneer troops loaded. Don't know if this is actually going to work or not, but we're going to bring Everspark, and we're just going to get going. Gonna change my troops up as we go along. Now, towards the end, actually, at the end, I'm going to drop my main level because you've got to use Speed Serum with Warriors. If you've never used it before, please give it a shot. You want to do it. It is amazing. It makes Warriors just these unstoppable beasts. It makes them swing faster. It makes them do more damage, which means they heal more, and essentially nothing can kill them. They are so good. Do check the cards above. I have used them so many times in the past. They are so fun, and Speed Serum with Warriors is something you do not want to miss out on. Even if your Warriors are terrible levels, do consider giving it a shot because it just makes them so incredibly unstoppable. Also, speaking of unstoppable, do consider using Speed Serum on all of the things because Shockaneers come in, we've got critters going everywhere. Speed Serum does affect critters as well, gets them moving faster. I had a very intelligent question from a very well known to me person on the Telegram. Chipmaker said, do Scorchers actually do more damage with Speed Serum? And the answer to that is, I don't know. So big shout out to Chipmaker for the great question. I really don't know if they do more damage though, because I'm not sure if they're like microwavers where they're just always on. They can't actually shoot faster. So if you've done any testing with Scorchers, please do let me know because I don't know the answer to that. I had never thought of that before. So also, one thing that I had never thought of before, I have thought of it before, but I figured I'd throw it out there. I have put a whole bunch of new work into my audio, which means my audio for today's video will likely be better or worse or different. So if you hear something different in today's audio, please do let me know. Let me know if you think it's better or worse. Just trying to get things to a better point because I stress over the smallest detail. And I had a rude and terribly phrased commenter on my video yesterday, but I take their criticisms to heart. Gonna try to make this video better. Generally speaking, try to make every video better than the last, and that's kind of my part of my whole reason for this whole YouTube thing is just trying to learn stuff. And YouTube is a constant source of learning, whether it be thumbnails and Photoshop or somewhere in between. I realize that everyone has different things they look for on the YouTubes, and so trying to make everyone happy, not really a thing, but trying to make myself happy by learning stuff is kind of the goal that I aim to please. So if you notice something, do let me know. I know that let's carry on though. Just trying to burn through all of the things. Shockaneers, shocking things, Everspark throwing critters, medics running around like crazy people. Stage 4, pretty darn easy for us, and we are low level. I think this is HQ 16. Terrible-ish statues, but overall, doing some good things. So if you've never used this troop combo, do consider giving it a go because the heavies take shots from the remote stuff, and then the Shockaneers shock the close stuff, and the critters go in front of the heavies. All in all, good things. My barrages here, if you're wondering what the heck they're for, my primary goal and purpose here is just to keep from getting boom mined in the face. We're going to get all of this stuff, get the critters out front, and then we should just be able to walk through all of this stuff. I am going to throw a shock right here, though. Look at the value in that shock. We are shocking the grappler, the shock launcher, and the rocket launcher. So if you're considering building your base, don't let someone shock all of your high-level stuff in one shock, because that is just awful base design. Do not, if this is your base, by the way, sorry to say that, but it's true. Don't let someone shock all your good stuff in one shock, because then you're just gonna let your base get absolutely wrecked. So stage 5 with Speed Serum and Shockaneers, walking through this without any difficulty. Typically stage 5 for HQ 16 are when things start to get a little bit more difficult. So the fact that we just strolled through it without a care in the world kind of goes to show how strong these ladies and gents can be. So same sort of thing here. Look at this. We can shock here, here, and here. 3 high value. Also, we can shock these 3 over here. So I am actually going to come into this right side. I want to get rid of those rocket launchers and shocks as soon as we possibly can. So that's what we're going to do. A lot of people would shy away from it. I like to lean in. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. What do we drop first here? I'm going to drop... Here's the problem. If we drop Everspark first, Everspark's going to get grabbed. So we're going to go something like this. I'm going to throw this over onto here. And now I'm just going to shock the shock launchers, and then we're going to throw a shock over here. And then all of the critters are just going to keep coming out. Everspark's going to keep all of our troops alive as they walk directly into the range of all of the stuff. Look at that. Shockaneer on the right, shocking things. All of our Zookas walking into things, and then we can shock over here and get their shock launcher and their rocket launcher. So all sorts of goodness here, setting things up very easily for our troops to come in and crush this base. So Shockaneers with heavies and medics just crushing. If you haven't tried this combo, please give it a shot, because I am doing this unboosted as an HQ 16, and that is probably the easiest stage 6, especially considering the fact that they've got some ice statues. They had some prototypes, and we just crushed them with only 6 heavies lost. So I would assume that we would have lost a bunch of our squishy troops, but we lost 0 of them. Here's a quick statue review. I have a decent troop damage and troop damage, both fairly decent. Also this, fairly decent. When I say decent, I mean best possible Guardians. 3rd best there. Now 16%, 40%, 15%, 15%. So the GBE aren't great, but we are all offensive. I am all about the purple and red, in case that wasn't clear to you. Let's have a look at stage 7. Stage 7, we've got some hot pots. We've got a shock blaster. We don't need to do this in one, though. You'll notice they do have some ice back there, but it looks like it's boosted, but it's not, which is a huge benefit to us. So Imitation game, showing off. Is that a bug? I think it's bug-ish. Let's get going. We're going to throw a shock. That's not a shock, that's a barrage. Right in there to clear all of the mines. We're going to get rid of... Uh-oh, I almost threw... We're going to go something like this. We're going to get Everspark. We're going to get some heavies, and we're going to get them all in this nice line. And we're going to throw a smoke there, and I'm going to bring them right up into here. We're going to smoke a little bit late. We're going to throw our last smoke, second last. I don't know how to say that. Tertiary, you get the idea. We're going to throw a smoke in the manner so that we don't have to worry about our medics dying. And now all of this stuff is just going to burst out of here, all at a complete and utter sprint, because they're getting hit by all of the speed serum. All of our Shockaneers starting to shock things. Obviously, they don't have the longest beam because they are fairly low level. Now we just need to save some gunboat energy for when we get close to that hot pot. Otherwise, we're going to get absolutely ruined. But as you can see there, that hot pot has been shocked down by our Shockaneers, which is going to be a bit of a problem. We're going to have to deal with that at some point, because it's going to pop up eventually, and hopefully our Shockaneers can pop it up. Otherwise, they're not going to be hitting it. And so it's going to pop up behind us, and it's going to be a massive problem. So there we go. There it comes. There it comes. I knew it was going to come up eventually. And as a result, you really, really want to plan for that hot pot, or your troops are going to get ruined like mine did. So at least we managed to throw some artillery on it, throw some barrages, and now we've cleared up this entire right side. Did not go for the solo. Was that the right call? I think probably going for the solo, if you end up missing the solo, you just get ruined, and then you have to have a tough hit. So generally speaking, it's better just to work your way up. And now what we need to do is get Everspark out first. Then we're going to get our slowest troops, and then we're going to bring out all the rest, because obviously those Shockaneers are incredibly quick. They are, I think, the fastest troop, except for rocket choppers. I would say they're most likely the fastest troop. Now what we need to do is get some of those critters walking towards that hot pot. That is exactly what we need, and now we can throw this shock out, something like that. I'm actually going to use all sorts of gunboat energy to get rid of that hot pot, because as you saw there, the hot pot was a huge problem for us, and now all we need to do is get that shock blaster shocked. All of our heavies are going to stand out front. Shockaneers are going to start shocking things, making stage 7 a walk in the park. No problems here at all. This is a max level base with a bunch of ice, and we are just walking through it using heavy medic, Zooka, Shockaneer, Everspark. Just absolute walk in the park. Not a lot of difficulty here. I mean, the most difficult thing I did was smoke into that corner down there, which you don't even really need to do. I just like to have all of my troops come out of smoke so they're all firing at once, as opposed to them walking towards things and your heavies getting there before your Zookas get there for some damage. So all 7 stages unboosted on a level 40 account. This is HQ 16. Made it look easy, I think. We're going to have a quick pause here. Going to come back in a second, and I will show you the warrior goodness I was talking about. Look at all those resources. Our resources are completely full, and there's no tribes to spend them on. So I am going to get out of here. I'll come back in just a sec. Do consider sticking around. We're going to have a lot of fun. Okay, we're here. Sorry, quick drink of water there for me. Trying to keep the mouth sounds down. I'm sorry, it's a work in progress. Let's get going. And we're going to get all of our warriors loaded. I can't believe I don't have a warrior loadout in my repertoire, in my stable, in my harem. I don't know what you want to call it. But we are going to start out with Brick, because Brick is what most of you medium levels are going to be using. Obviously, not everyone has Bullet. Let's just attack. We're going to get going. Now, one thing to be aware of, obviously boom mines, that is a given. The other thing is just be aware of hidden stuff. We're just going to throw some artilleries out here just because I want to keep all of my troops alive. That boom mine might actually hit some of our warriors. They will reach out. I've used a ton of gunboat energy, but that's fine because we don't need any gunboat energy once we get to core, essentially. I'm going to actually use that shock mine to my benefit. I'm going to go something like this, trying to throw my smokes in the right order so that Brick will show second as opposed to first. That way, all of our warrior dudes will have some goodness. We're going to throw Speed Serum. Don't need any shocks on anything. Look at this. Look how fast they burn everything, like just absolutely crushing. Now, does battle orders and Speed Serum stack? It's better, yes, but it doesn't stack in the way you think it would. Just know that it is faster and better. It does stack, but the math is difficult and confusing, and Speed Serum actually makes your troops do less damage, but then they swing twice as fast, which makes them do more damage. So just, it does better. It does good stuff. The math has been done. The testing has been done. I don't have the capacity to explain it or math it. We're going to barrage all of these boom mines because this person obviously, you know what? Let's do a quick retreat. I want to see what troops they have loaded. I don't think it's going to be warriors, but I'm guessing. Let's have a look here. What do you got for us? Okay, so they've got some form of squishy troops. That makes sense because they've got lots of mines around their headquarters, which means that they're not worried about tank medic. They're worried about the troops they use. I meant to build that trivia up. We'll get into it another time, but I love making a guess at what bases people are running strictly based on what they have built their base around. We're going to flare right into here. Now, if you're wondering why I'm going off to the left as opposed to close to that headquarters, it's because you're going to see bullets going to stand in the shock launcher's blind spot, which is going to make that shock launcher not fire, which is going to make our troop and our attack that much stronger. I think, anyways, we're going to be awfully close to the edge of it. Let's have a look here. Does that shock launcher fire? That left shock launcher does not need a shock. It's doing all sorts of good stuff. So when possible, throw bullet into the blind spot of a shock launcher or a grappler or a rocket launcher, and it won't fire. You basically disable it without needing to shock. That's why I went to the left-hand side of that. If you have any questions about that, also let me know. We're going to do one more attack just because these warriors are just so much fun, and I highly recommend using warriors with speed serum. The only other troop I've been messing around with speed serum has been mechs, because mechs are incredibly slow and painful, and bringing them in with speed serum has been this kind of labor of love trying to make the troop work. We're going to come over into here because I didn't realize that my flare was in the wrong spot. We're going to have some problems. There is a shock mine behind the core, but I think we should be okay in about 3, 2, 1. Now, bullet throwing the taunt out, which is making that shock launcher right there not fire. Obviously, speed serum makes other defenses shoot faster, though, so do shock those machine guns and flamethrowers and stuff. These were all mediocre warrior attacks, but man, were they fast. Man, are they fun. Hopefully that gave you some inspiration or some ideas. Otherwise, here is that screenshot one more time. Thank you to Duck Squad on Discord for sharing that. It's in this month in Boom. It's not like this is a sneak peek or hidden or something like that, but I wish they did put it in the inbox over here in the news feed. So anyways, do consider throwing ZMOT in your creator boost, as my banner up there rotating has said. Let me know what the audio is like, which troops you're using with speed serum, and which temporary gunboat ability you're most excited for. Otherwise, as always, thank you for coming in. I'm ZMOT. Peace!